Well, we're doomed. If you didn't already know, student loans used to make up a huge portion of SOFI's business model. Or so we thought, right? In Q2 of 2020, what we saw was that over 46% of our income that came from our lending business came from student loans. You may think it would be a bigger part because student loans became such a big part of SOFI's branding. But whenever you consider the fact that SOFI only made around 4.95% on the average loan that was given out on the student loan side, it actually doesn't make up nearly as big of a part as whenever it comes to our personal loan side. Whenever we compare that to personal loans, where we got over 10.44% on our average loan balance, that still makes us over 50% of our overall business came from personal loans, even though no one seems to talk about it. But then came along Trump's plan to actually pause student loan repayments during the pandemic to help people get back on their feet and actually survive the pandemic. But that leaves us to today, where the clients that we have for student loans are all the old clients that we had even before the pandemic. We very seldomly get new clients, and that sort of leads us to have like sort of a just declining amount of clients, considering that people are starting to pay off their loans and we're not adding new ones. But this has made SOFI change up their business model completely. Now, about only 29% of our overall business actually comes from student loans, whereas whenever we look at personal loans, it's all the way up at 64.3%. But now let's talk about the issue at hand. Student loans are a $1.75 trillion issue in the United States. We have over 43.4 million borrowers just in the States alone, with an average balance of over $37,000 per person. And the current expectation for today is that Biden's going to come out and give $10,000 worth of forgiveness, as well as an additional 4 months of pause to help people get through the rest of 2022. There is one caveat to that $10,000 forgiveness, and that's the idea that the people that actually make over $125,000 per year will not get that forgiveness added to them. So let's run with that current news and let's see the expectations of what that could actually do to the overall student loan platform. Statistics show that over 33% of borrowers would get wiped away once $10,000 of forgiveness is actually completed. But the actual amount of dollars that's going to get taken out of that $1.75 trillion of outstanding balance is actually much less than that. Experts say that it's going to be anywhere between 5 to 20% of the overall outstanding balance. Plus, in the point of $125,000 of forgiveness is a very important point. Last time that we actually spoke about this, it was $150,000, so they've actually dropped it. That's actually more beneficial to us considering the type of people that are actually attracted to SOFI's offering. Let's not forget that SOFI student loan borrowers make on average over $170,000 per year. That's on average. So whenever you consider the people making $125,000 plus that are getting no benefit from this could mean that the actual people that we try to target as members are actually, the same place that they were before this pandemic even happened. So if this expectation is the actual outlook that we're considering to happen, then Anthony Noto and the team, the only thing that they're going to worry about is when this pause actually ends. If it's today, if they actually, stop the payments and actually go back on September 1st, this is going to be a great push for SOFI and the stock will go through the roof because one of our biggest business models on the lending side will have completely recovered. But the choice for what Biden has to do is actually not a clear-cut one. I mean, he kind of put himself between a rock and a hard place. For example, Biden's doing the presidential duty of calming the people and telling them that the economy is doing quite well and that America is thriving. But in that same breath, he's trying to turn the waves and actually say, you know what, people are struggling due to the pandemic and that they need these repayments continued to, be paused and continue to be pushed, and with no actual expectations of when this moratorium is going to truly be ended. So it is a tough and troublesome position to be in, but also, I mean, he put himself there. You can't say these words and then, backtrack and say people need help, but also, people are thriving and everything's going well. And yet the majority of people that have been asked about how they want this to actually go down, a lot of people are saying that this is going to worsen inflation. And I mean, they're just flat out correct. It absolutely will. It's estimated that a one-time maximum payment of a $10,000 forgiveness would cost the taxpayers roughly $300 billion in relief, and that's only for income people of less than $125,000. But former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers also indicated that if the forgiveness is actually given, that's not nearly as bad as actually pushing the loan repayments off even further. He said that is the worst idea by far. Funny enough though, SOFI is planned for whatever case actually comes out. We've already guided for no new student loan business all the way till 2023. So if they push it to the end of the year, we've already planned for it. People should stay calm. However, I know the stock will still go down regardless because people hate bad news, regardless if we've even planned for it. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. If it's something crazy and they just throw a wrench into everything that we've been saying, I'll be here to make another video for you guys. But if you guys could, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this.